The universal law of cause and effect states that for every effect, there's a definite cause. In turn, for every cause, there's a definite effect. Your thoughts, behaviors, and actions create specific effects that manifest and create your life as you know it today. You're tuning into the Cause and Effect podcast, where we discuss society and culture the best way we know how.
You can put on your head, my dog, I can stuff. I got her head and fell in love. She eat her that dick, ain't no letting up. This is not a Corvette. My feelings will go way faster. I can flex on my act, it ain't hard to see my niggas better. I got him hating that I leveled up, but I'm brittle, no, I do not give a fuck. Everywhere that I step is a pistol tuck. Still one of your niggas to get what up.
Ain't no way I'ma forfeit this. Mailbox money, I'm Forbes is rich. All from a base when in Georgia is real when you don't gotta force this shit. Gotta Florida chick.
We back, baby. Cause and Effect podcast, Season 2, Episode 3. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Estamos sintiendo aquí.
Estamos sintiendo.
Wow.
¿Qué tú estás
What
sintiendo?
are you feeling? Yo, he's right next to you, so I don't
He was
know.
floating today, so he must be feeling like...
Feeling light, man. Feeling
people
light.
are
Feeling like
like
I'm
a
in
feather.
clouds,
He
boy.
was floating.
You know?
People don't think we talk about he's high.
He was high
So,
on life.
I was high. Exactly, man.
Different.
Hey.
Oh man, so we back, and we're keeping the series going with digital, the digital era that we're living in right now. Social media was some of the things that we talked about, in the past episodes, and we're gonna keep it going. Like we've seen a lot of things evolve due to the internet, right? Some of that has been how people conduct business and how people are able to, level up. Level up financially, we can go from music. You can go from music, from brands, like anywhere you want to go with it. This conversation can land on the internet, And as we think about it right now, as I think about it right now, this wasn't a thing. Right? Like, it was hard to get your own stuff, like your own brand, get your own things going.
You had to go to stores personally. You had to, get referrals,
you
find
didn't
out
even know
where
that,
they had them.
Yeah, like, I didn't even know that it was possible for me to go somewhere and say, I want to start my own brand. Here's my ideas. Print this out. I can get these type of materials down. I put it online, and it sells.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I thought I had to have something popping to go up to Macy's to get at least at one of those boutiques or something. You know what I mean? Like, the internet has made everything an even playing ground and accessible for anybody and everybody, And before we continue with that, I want to just shout out everybody that's been listening to the Cause and Effect podcast. Shout out to all the listeners. Thank you for supporting, buying our merch, www.causeandeffectpod.com. And salute to y'all. So, that has been a major shift if we look at it because of the internet. Today, we're making sales online and for us it's regular because like we discussed before, we're like the middle child. We were able to be before the internet and we kind of like just smoothed right into it,
because we were young
walked
still.
right into it. Yeah. And we just like if we grew up around it at one point, we just started seeing everything around us just evolve and we was quick, man. It was fast. Yeah, we managed to keep up with it. And today we reflect on it. We see the pros and cons, the cause and effects of it. Yeah. And we see, the light and the dark. And one of the things that, the internet has been able to do is, like we said, make an even playing ground for those that have ideas, for those that have a passion, for those that want to go out and explore something outside of, the regular. So like, what do you guys see? Like, what do you guys have? What have you guys observed, or maybe something that we've talked about before when it comes to digital finances? I know Fernando has talked about, certain things on like making sales, buying things, just making money online. Period. Like for what's something that y'all see as a major like eye opener or something that's impacted y'all directly when it comes to online sales?
I can't think of anything as of right now, but I feel like I feel like it's just like hearing you talk and just thinking about it. It kind of like, and how you said it, we kind of like in the middle of it all, and we were young. Just seeing the change and the transition from physical cash to like digital cash. You know what I mean? That has made it more easier for us to actually, sell things on like Instagram, Facebook, or whatnot. You know, and for us to be able to create our own brands, like, you know how many people got brands now? Like back in the days, it wasn't that easy for us to do that shit. Like, you don't see people come up with a brand that like that. You know what I mean? Nowadays, it's just more accessible. Like that to me is kind of like.
And it was kind of like, oh shit, like, you know, remember going to stores and seeing Sean John?
Yeah.
Rockaware.
Yeah.
You know, like you saw that Fubu. I didn't even know that Fubu. I didn't even know Fubu was black owned. I didn't know the story till today because of social media. I followed Damon John and I'm like, he's the creator of Fubu? And this guy was out here, you know, one of the early entrepreneurs that just thought about creating its own, and it was because his mother taught him how to sew.
Smart guy.
You know what I mean? Like those, like I get to hear these stories and I say, wow, you know. And then you go fast forward, you got kids that started brands. Like I remember hearing about these kids that started that brand with the smiley faces on T-shirts. It was the simplest thing in the world. They got offered $1 million by Macy, by this big brand. I think it was Macy, and they turned it down. They said if somebody at that caliber is trying to give us $10 million, $5 million, we can make more.
And talking about shit like that, no, that's money.
Millions of dollars later, they you know, popular, and they became a thing. And those were like the early, you know, like door openers, like setting the plan. Like, oh shit, he could do that, and he's what, 18, 21? Today you got thousands of brands online, urban, you know, fashion, and you just see it continue to go up.
And he also changed the music too. Like I listened to some interviews here and there, like Drink Times, when he has like DMX, or he has like LL Cool J and those people from back in the day. And everybody, any interview doesn't have to be just like the Drink Time. It could be the Breakfast Club, all of those. When veterans sit down, they always, not always, but for the most part, they compare how it was back then and how it is now. They was like, yo, back then to get in the industry was harder. It wasn't as easy as today. Today you could just make a record and just drop it anywhere. You could drop it on your Instagram, drop it on SoundCloud or whatever. Back then you needed a record label. You needed a record deal. Now you wasn't gonna do that. You needed to get played by the DJ. If they didn't play your ish,
absolutely,
you wasn't gonna make it anywhere.
You had to play your music.
Now you don't have to. My bad. Now you don't have. Now a lot of people don't have to put in that much effort into it anymore. Like, put an effort in your lyrics and the way you deliver it and so forth. But like to actually go out there, a lot of people, like, if we were still in 1999 today, a lot of the rappers that are out today, half of them, if not more, would not be doing it what they're doing right now, because this is probably would have either been too lazy, put in the effort to go into this record labels, go to the DJ, none of that. A lot of rappers just go to like Little Baby, like not for nothing. Like people like rappers like Little Baby and other rappers, they just walk into the studio and just be like, oh, I'm gonna just rap today. They make one song, and then from there on, they just go off. Like 3 months.
But
and the Baby did the same thing. Like, it's like, yo.
And I like that because that goes into another conversation. Before I get into like the easy part of doing music today and getting in at least heard.
I don't want to go into deeper into that conversation either.
I'm just saying that the you know, we're talking about how the internet has made a lot of things easier and how to be able to monetize and so many ways.
I'm not bashing the way that it is right now. I'm just saying like the difference between back then and today. I'm not saying
that's what I'm saying. Like that the cool thing about it is right. I look at J. Cole, right? And I remember when J. Cole was like beasting to get signed by The Rock. And at that time, the SoundCloud rappers were started to gain traction. Like, you got YouTube. And if it wasn't for YouTube, J. Cole wouldn't have gotten signed. And I say that because his music got Jay-Z's attention. J. Cole talks about having to, you know, wait outside of places where he knew Jay-Z was at to try to give him a CD. Remember when you had to hand somebody a physical CD? Now you're just going in the comments and check my Instagram account on the comments. Check my Instagram account for my music. Check my SoundCloud. Like, it's like, check the link. Blah, like, whatever. So I can see where, you know, today it's a lot easier in a sense of at least just creating the stuff. Yeah. But it's a lot harder because it's just so many now, and it's like, how do you stand out in a room full of the same people? It's like clones.
And the same thing with technology. Period. Like, you know, we've been managing and continue to manage to keep up with shit, but like little by little, like so far, like there's certain things that is so overwhelming. It's so much information out there, bro. And every day more and more and more, bro. It's like you feel bombarded. I'm like, yo,
we live in a very fast world.
It's fast, bro. It's a lot going on now.
And more and more we we get like you said, bombarded by the information, right? We get all these new things, NFTs, Bitcoin. We get all these things that are just starting to evolve, and we're just hearing so many people making money here and doing that. You got Instagram influencers making money. Like,
that's the new thing now, influencers.
Yeah,
oh
I know people in Dominican Republic,
TikTokers.
right? TikTokers. I know people in Dominican Republic collecting checks because they make TikToks, because they're influencers
Well,
in
in
DR.
they don't get paid for that.
They
They do.
definitely get paid, bro.
Check up on that. Last time I heard, if you're a TikToker in DR, you can't get paid.
Oh, I don't know
I'm not
about
talking
TikTok.
I'm talking about Instagram.
Oh,
And
okay.
Facebook.
I'm
and
just
shit
saying
like
that there's
yeah.
TikTokers in DR that use that leverage and put it on their Instagram account, and it helps
Yeah.
them grow their following, and they become influencers, right? And majority of these people that I talk about are women, right? Like women, I say, that have a hands up when it comes to influence, because guys are easy to look for women online. Like,
Guys easily get distracted.
we're like, like
Right.
so like if you see a girl with some shorts dancing, you're gonna like it, you're gonna watch it. So yeah, a lot of women have they have an advantage, right, to get attention, right? And we see this going more and more and more. Like, women are investing in their physique, whether they go to the gym and do it naturally or go and get it done, because they understand that that's what's selling right now for attention.
It's a great business.
OnlyFans or whatever.
It's a great business.
I don't judge any, to each his own, right?
I think
But
it's a
there's
great
just
business.
a way to create income. I've heard of women in Dominican Republic on interviews talking about they made what they would have made in a yearly salary in a month on OnlyFans. No judging here. Like, I understand the struggle out there. Like, I know what it is. Like, where these women are, being, stepped over, like, by men that have a little bit more money than them, and they gotta kind of like be restrain themselves or be oppressed by that, because cash is king out there still. You know what I mean? Like, the people that hold money hold power. So a lot of more women are finding ways to do it, whether it's OnlyFans, whether it's influences, whether it's fashion, and they're creating a following online and being able to create their own thing.
One thing
So
I
that's
w-
pretty dope.
One thing I do want to say is how, if you're still recording, because
Yeah,
that'd
yeah,
be
yeah, got
crazy
you.
if we not. Yeah,
Right? Like, that'd be wild. I'll
Yeah.
be sick to my stomach.
Like,
you
you
heard?
just spent 30 minutes here. He ain't catch nothing. That'd be crazy. Nah,
That's
but
what happened before.
Dude, I got signed for them. We got a little promo coming. But definitely. In social media, the whole internet, man, like it came a long way from just being a place that we used to go and play games.
Yo, if
to
you really think about it, the reason why we joined network marketing was because of social media. Like,
It helped it a lot.
network marketing was, and I'm gonna just be like straightforward and say this was a white person. This is white people thing. Like, these white people were, in Texas and these, wealthy neighborhoods selling these products and doing these network marketing things. And then the internet came, and you call a couple of people that look like us selling stuff online and promoting a lifestyle that was appealing to us, and we said we want in. And for the first time and maybe ever, you saw way more people that look like us, Latino, Black, Asian, join network marketing companies, and for some get great success from, for others get an experience out of it, and we're able to pull from that experience and then go on and create their own thing. But today I see even more network marketing companies, and it's moved by people like us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Kids online, moving on the internet, traveling, taking pictures on vacation, saying, yo, you should be here. Yo, you should be trading. All these other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Like, it's the truth. Now that you should be here, shit isn't here no more, but you got people doing other things, right?
Yeah.
Like, but if we look at the evolution of things, it starts because of the internet. Like, we didn't know E, we didn't know Rob. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got connected through somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody.
Yeah, we didn't.
You know what I mean?
Most of the people that we meet is usually because of online relationships.
And we get exposed to new things because of online.
New restaurants you want to try, new stores you want to try, new clothing.
Yeah. Absolutely. So today, we see businesses that aren't online, and we're puzzled, right? There's people that are going to phase out because they're not online, right? So for us, right, we want to, center this conversation. Making money online has become very, very easy. But at the same time, like
It's
you
difficult.
said, it's very difficult,
'Cause like you
right?
said,
it's so
it's-
weird. It's like
it's
a
a-
pull and tug.
There's a lot of people in
Because
it.
now you're looking at everybody trying to get in real estate. Because this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna just name the things that I've seen. Because preparing for this conversation,
Realistic.
hold this
I don't know
thought.
the list is coming. You didn't talk about this, but I already know what you're gonna say.
Looking at this conversation that we were gonna have today, I was like, yo, I've seen so much real estate conversation,
Stocks.
fitness, stocks, even podcasting.
Yeah.
And podcasting, I remember when I wanted to do it, everybody was like, why the fuck do you want to do podcasting? It's free. There's
Everybody
nothing.
has a
And I'm like,
podcast.
yo, podcasting is the new way
That
for
girl,
communication.
Paris Milton, what's her name?
Hilton?
Is that her name? That skinny?
The blonde chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she got a podcast.
Bro, I'm
Like,
telling you,
everybody has a
because
podcast about
you got to
anything.
understand, like, there's content. People are feeding people content, and there's content for everybody.
Yeah. There's
right?
a notice for everything.
So like today I wanted to make a post, right? And I wanted to make a joke about like the fitness world where everybody's on a fitness journey, right? And I see a lot of girls putting on they tights, and they want to model, and they're finding new ways to model their body online. I get it. Or to promote, whatever the brand they're trying to I'm not trying to, I was gonna make a joke of it, but I didn't want to sound like a hater or I'm knocking it, because I'm actually happy for a lot of people that are doing their journey, like their fitness journey. That's cool. Like, if there's something that I'm cool with, it's fitness, because if it's promoting a healthy lifestyle,
You gave the good.
let's get it.
Now give us the bad.
It's just
Go
funny.
ahead, relax.
It's just funny because I just see a lot of the mimicking, like, oh, like this girl got you follow what you see people having a lot of. Like, if this person does fitness videos and she's getting 20,000 views and likes and whatever, you go and do the same
You
thing.
use the blueprint.
And
what
I just
works.
looked at it and I just said, there's a lack of originality because of all the things that become trends. It's just it becomes a fad. It's just a follow this and follow this.
Talking about
so
trends.
it's
Aren't
becoming
we-
hard to kind of like separate yourself from like.
But that's
where
what we're
the
being
masses
taught
move
now
at.
in this pandemic. Oh, the trends. Like, this is trending. Do this, do that, do this, do that. Like, all these videos and all this shit with TikTok. Like, that's what you're kind of learning.
Listen, man. I don't know what the heck these things are called. It's like this new style of leggings that these girls be wearing to go to the gym.
The Amazon one that
TikTok
it has
leggings.
like the
Like
little
that.
raja
The
por el
TikTok
culo.
leggings.
Oh my goodness. It was supposed to be
That's what they
illegal.
call them, the TikTok leggings.
Yeah,
Them
no,
used to be
those
illegal,
are the
bro.
Amazon leggings. Everybody has an Amazon
They
code.
say
If you buy it from them,
TikTok.
they get a commission. Well, whatever they are. I just know that I've seen more people going to the gym with them on. And the other day, it's great you brought that
Them
up,
shits,
because
nigga.
I don't comment it because obviously, like, I don't want my girl to think like I'm fijándome
Pero es que cómo no
en lo culo. You know what I mean? Pero
Pero
I have noticed that I've seen a lot of the same leggings, and I'm
yeah.
like, hold the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then more people saying, use my code and my link and like, before it was remember the tea, the tummy tea, whatever, the girls that were promoting the tummy tea, like to reduce whatever in your stomach.
Yeah.
Burn your fat. And all that.
Burn the fat. Like, there's been trends that
Yeah.
we've all forgotten about,
Yeah.
but when we think about it, it's be like, oh, it's one of those. I
Well,
get it. Cool.
that trend should be
That'll
illegal.
phase out.
I don't like that shit.
That shit should be
That shit be fucking me up, man. Like,
nigga be working
man.
out, goes,
yo, that ass. I'm like, yo, you sit there and look at me wearing like, so you're
my
like,
guy
oh my
has
god,
hair,
how
man.
you gonna be wearing those here? Like, I could see, like, my imagination is just going wild when you sit in pants, huh?
and this is a
Raffy.
great conversation for later on.
Yeah,
because
later
I
on in the
wanna, I wanna,
future.
I wanna
I
talk
just felt
about that
trends
when
and
you
I
talk
thought
about
about that
imagination,
shit,
but
yeah.
it's true. Like, we're discussing this, and it can go, and like I said, it can go anywhere, man, because there's so many spaces that we can like just focus on and see where there's been a shift, an evolution, or it's been phased out because of what we're talking about today.
A
which
lot
is
of
the
things are
internet.
coming and going because of the internet. They come and go quick,
Yep,
quick.
yep.
Like music.
Bro, today, right? Like, I realized that I sometimes feel like I'm crazy because I listen so much to like old albums. Like, I listen to and I consider them old because there's a bunch of new ones out.
Yeah.
But I listen to Nipsey Hussle. I still listen to J. Cole's first projects, and I listen to them and I just be like, wow, I'm amazed. But some of these songs, like, I'll listen to them and then like I won't revisit this like I won't
A lot
listen
of songs
like the
are-
song
yeah.
I just played in the beginning of the podcast. I probably won't hear this song ever again. Just felt like I wanted to bump to something a little you know,
Yeah.
upbeat. And that song was there, and I like Russ, and I didn't even know who that kid was that was rapping that song.
Yeah.
But it sounded dope. Tomorrow, another song comes out,
And it's like that.
and it's the
You don't
same
get
thing.
time. You don't have time to enjoy it.
It's like everything is saturated.
Yeah, it doesn't live long enough because you know artists had a structure back in the day where they would drop a specific amount of projects at a certain date, and then after that they would go on like a go away, and everybody's just like bumping, letting that live and become a classic.
Kind of
and
like
then
what
boom.
Drake and J. Cole.
The
and
big
Kendrick
artists
do.
still do it. The big like Kendrick Lamar has not dropped a
He's
fucking
been OD.
project.
He's been wilding out. Kendrick is wilding out, but
he hasn't dropped the fucking album.
He's wilding
ever
out.
since then, and I'm like, fam,
yeah,
it's
been
overdue.
He's been wild.
Rihanna, like Rihanna's not even thinking about music.
I don't
at
think
this
she's
point.
doing it anymore.
Nah, let her keep doing the Fenty stuff. That's fine.
This nigga, ya te dan un pal ya.
No, but like,
Hey, Savage Fenty, baby.
yeah,
I even got the ASAP Rocky one. Like my girl got me the men Fenty.
Yeah,
Shit's dope.
man,
Great
listen,
quality.
that's what's up. But you know, a lot of things it's just saturated, bro. Like now, like things are more saturated.
But
than
we
ever
think
before.
you know what's funny? That's the thing that
That's
I
what I
wanted to
feel
talk
like.
about. We feel like it's saturated, right? But then you have
That's a little bit
conversation with
art.
people and they don't even know what's going on. And you're like, fam, what you get fed is not the same thing that everybody else is getting fed online. You know what I mean? So when I look at a lot of things when it comes to trends, when I look at this internet shit, man, more and more we think about it like we spoke on our first episode about social media, the origins and all these things, right?
Yeah.
It was a social network. We was there to just socialize and just keep it moving, meet new people, maybe get a couple hookups, maybe find a girlfriend, whatever. But today, yeah. But today, and you know, tell me if I'm lying. We look at it
You're
as
lying.
it's for business. Like we're looking at it like, yo, this is a come up for us. We gotta figure it out. We just gotta learn how to monetize this internet shit.
Facebook made a whole market on the actual
Facebook
app.
market. They made a Craigslist on their
So
fucking
they made
platform.
a Craigslist, and it's more.
and they did the same thing with Instagram.
And
You,
you
can
can
buy on
see-
Instagram. There's shops there.
They made a shop where you have the
Yep.
little shop thing
Yeah.
and you can buy things on there directly from people that are selling on your timeline.
I've been selling to people on Facebook Market, and I don't even have to. And
I
now they
have
made
too.
it where you don't even have to meet up with the person anymore.
Did
You
they buy
just
the
ship
Did they
it.
buy the hockey table?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I haven't posted.
We have a
that.
hockey table, air hockey table for
Word.
sale.
Yeah,
Hit us up.
Please,
$100.
maybe.
yeah. Just hit us up with the code Rafi, and then you'll get it for a discount.
Yeah.
And if you're a girl and you look cute, we're gonna figure something out.
Yeah,
He'll buy it for you.
This guy's
He'll give us the money
guy.
and give it to you.
this guy's never gonna.
Because we
settle
not letting that
down.
go. Give me the $100. Give it to whatever girl you want.
What's it gonna do? We don't care what happens as soon as we get the money.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But
Nah,
you know,
but, yeah.
it's just, you know, I look at some of these things again, and I be mind blown. Like Amazon, you can create your own Amazon store within Amazon, and people buy the shit that you recommend, and you get a percentage. Like if there's ways to make money for everybody, you got to figure it out.
Online.
You know what I mean? And you got to stay consistent, because that's the thing, that there's just so much things going on that we just be like, oh, let me do this and let me do that and let me do this.
We gotta
And then
scattered.
you get scattered, and then
Yeah.
your results are scattered.
Yeah.
They're not. You know, you're not consistent enough with it. I was learning today how to run Facebook ads and how to really like monetize on that. And I was mind blown by it. And I was like, holy shit, the budget is $5. The guy is talking about a $5 budget. And I'm over here thinking $500. But when I get educated on what are the right steps to do to be able to make it a $5 budget, I was mind blown, bro. I was like, oh my God, we got to do this. You know, so if we pop up in your timelines more often,
It was the $5.
It was
that
$5.
link. Give us the $5 and share that
$5
link.
budget. You know what I mean?
And
But
the more merch you buy, the more $5 we get.
but you know, I love this shit, but at the same time, I hate this shit. Like, if it makes sense, because there's the other day I was going crazy about this NFT shit, and I was trying to explain it because I understand this shit, but like explaining it is a whole different
I know,
world.
it's the same thing
And
for everything. For a lot of things.
and I calmed down because I was able to see a couple more videos, and I was like, okay, there's definitely gonna be like a phase out of things where they're gonna have to like it's real, but there's gonna be
It's inflated right now.
Exactly. It's
kinda
gonna be like
the
a
Bitcoin when it came out.
They
It
gotta
was
cleanse
so-
it. They gotta cleanse it. There's gonna be a lot of cleansing. So there's some people that are gonna really buy some shit overpriced that are, tomorrow they're gonna be what they paid for. So I'm like, okay, let me not buy anything right now. But that could also be a strategy for the people that want to buy shit, and they're saying these things because they want to grab onto the things that they want to grab onto for. So it's like you gotta make your own judgment in certain
It depends
things.
on
You
what
know?
you buy because certain things, a lot of things are gonna be overpriced.
Oh,
some
yeah.
things are gonna be worth what
I
it
was
is.
but a
thinking
lot of
about
things
creating my
are-
own painting and putting it for $5,000. See what happens.
Dude, it's you
Get that wall
never
up
know.
there. Just break that whole wall.
Wall.
And sell it to somebody for like
Rompe
5,000.
NFT 5,000.
Rompe chirra, pon un frame. But it's all
101.
about, it's all emotional, bro. Like,
Yeah.
literally, like, there's people that sell classic collector cards. And, you know, like, I'm not saying that they're not worth it, but
Yeah.
what sells it the most is the emotion. Like, you know, that person must have had a moment with their father one time where they were working at that same car, and then looking at that car reminds them exactly of that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So the emotion behind that will make that person spend $80,000 on a car that's probably worth $5,000 or less.
But then you have the hype beasts that are looking at.
But sometimes it'd be the same
information.
people.
you
Sometimes it'd be like, it could be us. Like, let's just say you're selling something and we just hype it. And then they'd be like, oh shit, like this shit's getting like overpriced. Like this shit is getting sold for a lot of attention. Or
Kind of what
whatever.
the stock market does.
And then,
with stocks.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
They're
pretty
like-
much like Tesla. Yo, like what Elon's been doing online, bro, has been a fucking a roller coaster. He's like, oh, Bitcoin,
No,
That big shit.
Buy
it, and then he said,
buy
Bitcoin
Dogecoin,
is
buy
going to
Dogecoin.
shit. And everybody starts selling Bitcoin. This motherfucker comes and buys $1 billion worth of Bitcoin.
That's smart, yo. Get ready to sell. Drop them prices. Let me get some
But
more.
that's why I don't trust some of these big dudes that be talking about, oh, the NFTs, the you know,
Yeah.
inflated, blah blah. I'm like, you might just want to grab onto a couple of these things because you're seeing it hard for yourself to catch on to these things. You got a busy schedule.
Like you said, you gotta make your own
might
judgment.
you know, catch on to these things as soon as these kids are online. There's a lot of kids out there that are younger than us. They're buying shit that's worth $5,000, and you're like, how?
My cousin spoke to me about some kid that he knows that was doing Forex, making money on Forex. I'm like, how do you even get to that? Like, y'all like 16 years old. Making
Bro,
money
that's not
on
even
Forex.
nothing because I've heard of kids that are 13 talking about Forex, making money on Forex.
That's wild.
And when I say Forex, and I'm gonna clear this up because some people when they hear Forex they think about network marketing. Forex is not a network marketing company. There's network marketing companies that do Forex. Forex is a market where you can trade currencies. I'm not an expert. Find the experts online. But that's the real gist of it. Because when I heard about Forex, I associated it with a network marketing company, and I avoided it because at that time, I was doing another network marketing company. So you know, it's like gangs, like yo, Bloods and Cribs. You can't be jumping
switching
You can't be
sides.
switching
Same
sides.
time.
Nah, everybody's switching sides. But we're gonna talk about another episode.
Some other time. But like we talking a lot about money, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's definitely a topic that we gotta dive into, man.
And talking about money, you know, and we just wanted to, you know, kind of lay the ground with social media, associating online with money. I want to play this clip that I found on YouTube about money because I found it pretty interesting. Let me make sure the volume's up.
Cash is king. But in a socially distant world where payment is as easy as... Does cash still hold the same value?
Cash is still relevant, but cash is no longer king. Although people in this country and around the world do continue to use cash to purchase things every day, that is decreasing.
Electronic payments have
He
cannibalized
look like he on
checks,
something. His
Card
eyes are
payments have
wide, like
grown.
poking
They
out.
wired.
but cash is
I
remaining
feel like he's
king.
scared and worried too.
2/3 of transactions under $10
Look, he
are
like he was
done
about to
in
slur his
cash.
words.
Although data surrounding COVID's impact on cash has yet to be reported, the pandemic is expected to cause a drastic decline in cash usage due to the risk
I hate the way she counts that money because like,
The
yo pensaba que habían 100
unprecedented
pesos
surge
aquí.
in the demand for
Pero ¿y dónde que se
contactless
escondió?
payment has also shown outstanding performances from major companies offering cashless payment methods. Like
Y'all got any
Apple,
stocks in these
Square,
companies?
And PayPal.
You're seeing digital payments
What?
in this crisis
Fracasado.
move from being a nice to have capability to a must have essential service.
Whether it is credit or debit or prepaid cards or peer-to-peer services like PayPal or Venmo or others, we're seeing a corresponding increase in digital transactions as we're seeing a decrease in the use of cash.
So when we hear that, right, we hear a decrease in cash and an increase on digital, right? And when we think about digital, again, before Bitcoin and all that information, I would think about cards and maybe Cash App and transferring money through Zelle. But today we got other things playing in the mix, which is Bitcoin and all these new ways for people to buy and just gain money. I've been mind blown by thinking. I was thinking the other day, I was like, shit, there's going to become a day where we look at money and say, I remember when I used to use that to buy things. Like in Dominican Republic,
When I used to use
right?
a bill, you mean like a bill?
Yeah, I
or
used to use the cash,
a
like
coin.
the coin, like a bill, like an actual $20 bill.
Imagine
and-
no.
But the thing is that
before we die, God willing, we live to our 80s. We're gonna
way before that, bro.
No, but I'm saying though, like, but I'm saying like, by the time we're not gonna know about no money.
It's just a piece of
No,
paper.
we're not gonna use
Bro,
it. It's gonna be an antique. It's gonna be in museums.
What country was it where people were using their cash for fucking fire? Was it Colombia? Bolivia?
Sounds like Venezuela type shit.
I think it was Bolivia. There was a country where their money went to shit for a while, where it wasn't worth a penny. Like it wasn't worth nothing. And we think about it, there's many more places that are gonna do that. That's gonna happen to before it happens to the U.S. maybe, but it could happen here.
I don't think. I mean, it could, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be just a transaction, which is what's happening right now due to the whole pandemic thing that's going on. I think that's speeded up.
Yeah, man.
So now it's like at a different pace.
So
Bro,
what's gonna happen to all these people that got cash on their walls?
Like I said, it's not gonna be from what? Oh, and their walls like drug dealers. Hey man, they're gonna have to wash that money.
Put that shit in the black market and buy some Bitcoin.
Buy some Bitcoins.
Buy some Bitcoin.
They better.
There's a lot
We
of
giving
drug dealers.
wait a minute, we giving advice to drug dealers now, man.
Yo, drug dealers, don't die over the neighborhood that your mama renting.
Damn.
Use that drug money and buy the neighborhood. That's how you rinse it. You know what I mean? Buy it in Bitcoin. Do something like that, man. Stop
and use
holding
a
on to cash.
5% and help your boys out for that message, bro.
Because for 20 cents a
Coño,
month
loco.
or a year or a day, 20 cents a day, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Only Fernando can say
Only Fernando can say it.
how it goes. We'll say it at the end of the pod.
Okay.
But
I tried, guys.
Well, when we look at it, right? There was a time where in Dominican Republic there was coins that were used to buy things. Today, those coins don't exist. Now they transformed into papeletas. Like I remember my dad saying, "Yo compraba esto, esto, y otro, y eran en peseta." And now today there's $20 bills, $10 bills in Dominican Republic,
You mean pesos?
which is pesos, yeah. And that can happen, like you said, as a transfer over here where it's seamless, where because of the pandemic, a lot more people were kind of like, stop. They were like putting their money in the bank account using everything card, Zelle. Like you saw a lot more people having to fuck with Zelle, fuck with Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, like pay me through here. I went to places to buy stuff sometimes, and they were like, "Yo, if you don't got exact change, Zelle me. Use a card because we don't have any quarters, we don't have any 10 cents, And at that point, there were some people that didn't have any cash in their businesses, and they were like, cards only. So there could become a day where we walk into a place and they're like, if you don't have a card or if you don't have Bitcoin, can't buy shit here.
Yeah. And
no
also
cash.
like
Gotta
the closing,
say no cash.
No
in front.
cash.
and also the closing of a lot of banks because of the COVID, like people not being able to be there physically. Also, it makes it harder for people to.
Your
have
physical banks are gonna
money.
close, a lot of them, but they're gonna the establishment like Chase and all of those banks are gonna be open because they're gonna have their own digital currency as well. But the main bases where people work at, they're gonna be less. I believe.
I'm curious to all this money that's being given out. how it's gonna affect us as well.
Oh, it's gonna affect us tremendously.
Like
It's gonna hurt us.
You know, there's a lot of people. You know that those memes that been going crazy online about the $1,400 and stimulus checks. Like yo, I got my stimulus check. I didn't want this. I want the whole store. Like everybody, like it's all fun and games. It's a joke. I laugh.
There's people raffling the stimulus check.
I posted that shit on my story. See if anybody bites to that.
I mean, but think about it.
$50,
Like,
50 spots.
Think about it. You'd be stupid not to do it because there's a lot of people that won't get their stimulus check. So it's like, we helping you out for $50. You could turn $50 into $1,400.
Could, but then you cannot.
And I made
Like,
$1,400 into 25.
People,
take a nail,
people did it
too.
for a $500 PlayStation and an Xbox. Like,
Yeah, shit that's not gonna
really.
do nothing for you.
Exactly. You could pay your rent with this. Like, so
Or
just hit us up.
or invest it into drugs, and then
Yeah, what did they get?
flip your
Or
money
invest it
and
into
buy the
stocks.
neighborhood.
and then buy the neighborhood.
Wow.
No, but all jokes aside, man, like, you know, there's just a bunch of shit going on, man. Like, who would have thought we lived to see a pandemic, the rise
I never
of
would've.
Bitcoin, like all this shit. I'm looking at so much
Global
things that's
warming.
happened.
I never thought about living through all of this shit.
All this stuff, and we're just like chilling, like, oh, okay, we're going on vacation next month. Like, I'm going to DR next month. Okay,
Living our best life.
Tulum,
YOLO.
Vamos pa' Tulum.
Es que
Definition
demasiado.
of YOLO, that's us.
There's too much stuff is happening too fast. It's just like, bro, like it's tough, man. Like it's tough for you to like catch up to what's going on with in your personal life, and then catch up what's going on in the outside world. Like you need so much time. Like there's times that I get myself involved into something like I get myself into stocks, and it's like
You gotta really
I
dive
don't
deep in
physically
there.
be at work, and then it's like my girl's like, oh, you're not even here when you're here. Like, and it's like, bro, it's just too much shit. Like
You're
when
trying to
put
get
your,
informed,
you
trying
put
to
your
get
time
into
into
it, yeah.
something. It goes so deep that it's like it's hard to spend your time.
And I think that it's important for people to, you know, that are listening to this to also pay attention to the fact that there's so much going on there. Plant your feet somewhere, because you know you can't do everything. Like you can dibble and dabble in stocks. You can put some money maybe like into what is it, ETFs. If you're not the person that's gonna really go crazy and try to like pay attention to the
You don't have to be
the
a savvy.
research.
Yeah.
You know what the fucking kind of research people do to buy into stocks?
A
Like
lot.
you gotta learn about the CEO. You gotta learn about what the future investments are about the company.
About the people in charge. Yeah, you
Oh
gotta learn
my
about the
God!
company, bro. It's a lot
Who
of work.
has that
It's a lot of work.
time to just dive into all that information?
If you want to invest in individual companies, yeah. The only reason why the individual companies is because I did it at the beginning of this whole freaking pandemic.
you
So
had
everything
time
was
in
low.
your hand, and you were just
And-
chilling in the crib, looking at stuff like, okay, this might
Yeah.
be a good purchase. Boom.
And not only that though, everything was so low, bro. It didn't matter what I bought. I just knew that if I bought Marriott, that's a hotel. I knew if I bought Delta, that's airline. I knew if I bought like certain things that are already big, but they just dropped crazy in price. I'm like, I'm gonna be
Bro,
good
Delta.
regardless. I don't have to look up these companies. They're gonna come back up like nothing. And that's what happened. I regret not buying no more Marriott. That's what about more of that shit.
It's showing crazy, right?
Shit went up crazy. I bought it for $90. It's just like in the 130s.
You know
Yo,
what
Rafi-
you know what I also thought about, and I'm gonna cut you off because I don't wanna lose the train of thought. Nike. That was such an easy buy.
I didn't think about that.
And Nike was so low when you think about it, and it just skyrocketed after the pandemic. And I was like, holy shit. I bought some stocks on Nikes late, not late, but like after it jumped to the price that it's at right now. And I'm like, damn, if I would have bought it at 90, put $500 out, like it would have been a good flip.
Yeah.
But again, the people that are there daily are probably in there. You know what I mean? I'm not there daily. I'm here daily. So my stocks are in stuff like this, the podcast, merch, you know, so like for the person that's tuning in, we're not trying to drive you crazy, and you don't have to do the research on all the things that we're talking about. We're just saying pay attention because times are shifting. If you haven't paid attention, if you're living under, you know, a cave,
Well,
then
hello there.
wake up because there's so much
Wake up, Patrick.
things.
Even the rock.
Wake up, Patrick.
Get out of there, buddy.
There's so much things that are going on today, and one thing is just be aware, do your research properly, find the experts in it. If you don't know anybody personally, there's resources online.
And try to keep up with what's going on, like us ourselves, man. Like we working on that right now, but
Hell yeah.
it's like times are changing.
You know, when we really
Currency
think about it, we could talk our
is
shit because
crazy.
we were early on to the podcasting shit. Like I know for you guys, it was a little fuzzy in the beginning to understand. Like, all right, well, this is just us you know,
We
chilling.
were early on. I wish we had more money.
Bro, what?
I wish we really. I
At
really
the
wish we
beginning,
had more
at the
money.
beginning, as far as like getting ads out there and stuff like that, 100%.
And not only ads, but the equipment. Like if we had this equipment before
In the beginning, we would have not known how to handle it. I look at everything as you know, perfect time. And today, I think it saved us to now be in the place that we're at today. But I do know,
would've
I
ruined
know where
ourselves.
you're coming
We
from.
would have
when
been
you
like
say
kids
that.
with a Lambo.
True. Yeah, facts. And not only that, but we were just trying to figure this thing out. So it was enough of what we were doing. You know, we had these 2 mics and the computer. Today we have a lot more equipment and we're still building a lot more things. But now we know what direction we're trying to head with this. Yeah. And that's what's important. But I just look at it and say, damn, we were early on to this shit because there's so many more that came right after us. And they may look like they're ahead because they have this and they have that, or they have some type of name, or they have some type of influence. But when you really look at it, man, I saw a quote, and it said, you know, the process is the process. Whether you don't think it's processing, it is. This shit is processing.
Things are happening.
Things are gonna happen. We've laid
As
the
long as we
fucking
continue
work
to take
down.
action, yeah,
It's just
this is gonna happen.
stay consistent. You know, we got a really dope audience. We got people that tune in. We got people that fuck with us on a daily basis. And, you know, one thing that Instagram has proven to me also is that it's not about the likes anymore. It's not about who's who's liking your shit anymore. Because there's plenty of people that don't like our shit, but we got hundreds of downloads, hundreds of plays. You know, like the numbers are the ones that talk. Instagram numbers today, they're a little fuzzy because Instagram can do whatever they want to do to make sure, you know, certain people get seen. Like the people that are paying for ads, the influencers, the people that are, you know, getting engagement because they're selling something, or they're a comedian, or they're a celebrity. The person like you and me that are trying to get through the algorithm, we got to pay for it sometimes. You know, we got to use Reels now because Reels is the new thing that's getting more exposure. Like I was talking to, you know, Jump Out was talking about Reels before, you know, Jump Out talking about Reels. I remember discussing with somebody, and it puzzled me to see like so many plays on a Reels that I had posted before when I was in Mexico, and I saw so many plays on that shit, and I was like, this gotta be like, you know, like inflated numbers, like whatever. And today it makes sense. It's like, okay, think about it like this. Instagram, when Instagram came out, you would post a picture and minimum you would get like 50, 100 likes. And that was a big deal because, you know, at that time, we it's not like we were doing much of anything. We're posting pictures of food and shit like that. Like, it wasn't like we were, like, really trying to create content. Because Instagram wanted you to get excited about that. They wanted you to get enticed by that and continue to post and use their fucking platform. Today, they have a fucking threat with TikTok. So what are they trying to do? Hey, I'm giving you all the people that are on your timeline to watch your Reels. You're going to get all the engagement through your Reels. So your posts don't get shit. Your posts get 300, 30 likes, 40 likes. If you're a girl, you're getting the hundreds and 300s. That's how it works. And or if you know, have nice cars or whatever. Like, you know, like we know what kind of things get the likes, right, when it comes to likes. But the Reels is an equal playing ground right now because everybody's getting a lot of exposure. Because Instagram, to me in my head, Instagram is like, let Reels be 90% available on the algorithm. Everything else, 30%.
And you dive so deep. You go into like this whole like rabbit hole.
Because you just keep going through Reels.
You just keep every single one. They just keep going and going, and you find one funnier, and you keep going and you keep going, and you share.
And then you know what they're doing right now? Studying us on what the fuck we're paying attention to, and then that's what they're gonna feed more of. Like, if you really study it, we're their guinea pigs, right? And they're like, all right, Reels is the new thing because TikTok is popping. Let's take their blueprint, apply it on here like they did with Snapchat. And now what we're gonna do is let them get all the engagement they can possibly imagine. But they want to see what we're engaging to. What are we liking? What are we watching? And then later on, they cut the plug, and you're just going to see whatever it is that you were engaging with, so they can have an accuracy on how to categorize people and how to market to people. like they've been doing to us. Because the stories was the same thing. There's people that don't post on their timeline no more. They just post on their Instagram stories because they get 300 views, 400 views. People DM them, and it's like more private. You don't got to comment on the picture and get awkward with it. Like, it's just pay attention to these things, and we look at it and say, wow, it's all a monopoly. You know, if you look at the internet, it's a monopoly. For the people that want to play around with it and just, you know, bullshit on it, go ahead. You know,
But if you're gonna make money, you can make some serious money in that thing too.
And you can really leverage it for whatever you're doing. I look at, I'm happy for people in Dominican Republic that are able to make an income because of the internet, because there's just so much lack of opportunities in third world countries that the internet has been able to let them participate in what we have participation in. So I'm eager sometimes when I have some of my boys from DR that I grew up with talking about network marketing companies, and I'll be like, yo, I've been through that phase of network marketing company. That's lit, but good shit, because in Dominican Republic, 100% that's gonna benefit you. Yeah. You need that shit because there's, you know, you don't have a college degree, you don't have like there's people out there that make very good money when they're doctors, dentists, lawyers, and business owners. But now you got very, very select business owners in certain areas. But today you got the internet, no physical location, no what is it? What you spend your money on? Fuck.
No inventory.
No, not inventory. We talked about it like when we cut the rent from the old studio. Overhead. The overhead is just posting. Like whatever you're buying, whatever products you're buying is your overhead to sell. You know, and for some of these people, you know, that are doing network marketing, they don't have to buy the product like that. Yeah, they just buy samples and then they promote it and people order from their website. Like it's a very, very good start for those people that need to make an extra income to be able to survive out there. You know, today, like for us, we look at it as an option because we have so many options over here. Like we don't know what to pick from. We're trying to do too much over here.
Sometimes that leaves a lot of people stuck.
You know? Overanalyze things, overthink things, and we just get overly, cluttered with all this shit that's going on. Today, you know, the other day I was trying to figure out how to make an NFT. I was trying to figure out how to buy them. Now I know, and now I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it yet. I know I do it, but I'm not gonna do it yet because I want to keep doing my research. But at that time, I was eager as fuck because I was hearing $200,000 deal on here, $5,000 over there, and I'm like, who is making this money? You know, like I want some of that too, but you go back down and you realize, all right, I need to be able to be educated on this and make sure that I make the right moves. So whether I make a wrong move, I want to make at least some type of grounded decision on some of the things that I want to do.
And be informed. Like a lot of people, like right now, like what we're doing now with people, informing them, money is going to change. Money is not going to stay the same. Money is not going to be paper anymore for too long. It's going to be straight up online, your card. I mean, you're seeing it right now. Everybody's being a witness of it right now. You know what I mean? You yourself was listening right now. You probably barely use cash. You probably just swipe and just tap your phone wherever you go.
Use your Apple Watch, cling.
And that's it. Everything is done.
And out of habit for me, I always have like at least $20 or $40 cash on me.
Yeah, out of habit, I do the same thing. I keep cash, but
I found myself many times with no cash on me, and I'm just like, whatever.
You still good. You go anywhere, you still good.
I had that. I had my emergency change in my wallet for like the longest. And I even
and you didn't even fucking use it. There's times that I go to a store and I pull out my card, having cash, the exact cash that they're asking for. Well, it's $5. Give them my card, and then I'm over here like, fucking $5 cash in my wallet. I don't really use it like that. Like it's just becoming that way, you know. So you know, for the audience tuning in, again, we're bringing this to the table to talk amongst ourselves and sharing this conversation with y'all because one is something that's intriguing for us, something that's something we're paying attention to. So I think that for the listeners, it's important for you to do the same. You know, especially if you're a minority. And I'm gonna stop using that term because I don't want to label us a minority because we're not, and we're not lower than any other fucking, you know, people out there. Like today we have too many labels that kind of like lower you and put you like in this lower category than everybody else. We're as equal as anybody else today, and we've seen that more and more and more. So I'm just trying to let you know, as the people that are known to be the minority, that it's important for us to pay attention to these times, because it's like what they're saying. It's like a shift in currency also. There's a lot of more people that are able to come up because of this pandemic financially, and the internet has been able to help us leverage that. The information we're getting has been able to help us leverage that. So let's continue to do that. Let's continue to build, move 2021, 2022 forward, and be able to be in a completely different space, you know, for the better. Because again, all this stuff that's happening right now can even be the end of us or the new start for us. And when I say the end, it's like we get left behind and we're just back to trying to catch up. You know, I think that is important for everybody that looks like us, that comes from a place where they had to figure things out and had a late start in a lot of things, to gear up. Use some of the stuff that are be given to you, whether it's a stimulus check, whether it's unemployment, and level up, because there's just no reason for somebody to say, I don't know, I can't make any money.
Don't
you
save
know,
it.
maybe you don't know where you can make your money from, but don't say you can't make any money, because there's just so many avenues and ways for you to do it.
Yep.
You don't save it in your bank account. Don't just leave it there.
Yeah,
like,
now
if
we've
you're gonna
learned
do
that.
something
We've
with
learned
it, either like invest
Especially-
it,
yeah.
invest it into the right things, or even pay your credit card. Because even paying your credit card is something
Helping your credit score.
It's helping your credit score. It's helping you out of debt. Like,
Oh, and you know what I want to talk about also? One thing that I found to be dope, like something that Jay-Z is planning to do, he invested in a company that what they're trying to do is include home, like rent payment or mortgage payment for your credit score. And when I thought about that, I was like, yo, that's very fucking smart. Why isn't that already something that helps your credit score? Like, I know homeowners, yes, but paying your rent in a place that have a, let's say, a year lease with, that should be something that should be, you know, counted towards your credit and help you gain,
you had a
gain
7-year
points.
lease, you never missed a payment. Oh, wow.
Yo, that is super crazy. So like seeing things like that, Jay-Z investing in companies that are trying to make that a real thing, and they're catering to our community, the urban community, the hood, because we're the ones that struggle the most when it comes to credit score. And because of our credit score, we can't get into real estate. If you really look at it, all these trends and all these things are coming, but real estate is like one thing that's been here forever, and it won't phase out, because everybody and anybody needs a place to stay.
Yeah.
So, you know, some of these new trends that are coming are great jump starts for you to grab your money and put it into something solid like real estate, or something you believe in like a business, you know. So that's just something I wanted to share on this platform today. I felt like this conversation was very important. You know, we have these talks all the time off air, and I think it was cool for us to be able to have it on air. And there's so many more things that we want to talk about, but I think that is important for us to leave some of that, to have some people on the platform that we want to have to talk more in depth when it comes to real estate, when it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to trading, stocks, and stuff like that. So I look forward to that.
Likewise.
Anything you guys want to add on to that?
We good.
We're good?
Invest your money.
For 29 cents.
That part. Oh, yeah.
We're going to let that go. We're going to let that
For 29 cents.
No,
a
listen,
day.
for real, go on www.causeandeffectpod.com. We're going to have a bunch of new merch coming up for spring. So go on there, cop whatever you want to get that's available right now. We're going to be doing some giveaways. We're going to be doing some discounts, so pay attention to that. Share the podcast, like, subscribe, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, every streaming platform you can think of. Go and search Cause and Effect Podcast. You might find some dummies out there, but you'll find the originals on there as well, which is us. So we here, you know.
That's it.
Thank you for tuning in.
Knuckleheads.
Let's get it. And then I put the music at the end.